Welcome to Reads with Rosa. Man, I'm so excited to introduce our guest today. I'm a huge fan, in case you can't already tell. Let's give it up for Brian Bars Burns. And if you can't say
Woo!
his name, call him Triple B.
I love it.
Woo!
Greatest
That's what's
introduction.
up. I stole that. I stole that line from his song, just so you
Greatest,
know.
greatest
Okay.
intro.
How are you doing, B? How are things out your ways in the ATL? How are we going?
I'm good. Just getting prepared to head back to California. Just so that's all I've been doing. Working on new music, working on new projects, and yeah, ready to flood the masses. Let's get it.
Nice, nice. I noticed your hoodie there. He shows your hoodie. Bars only. What's about that?
Bars only.
Bars only.
Shout out to Lyric Jones. She's an MC. She spits crazy bars. Yeah,
Right, right.
it's her brand, her clothing line, and I just support dope stuff, man. Like,
I love it. I love it. What's the story behind your name? The bars. Tell us the story behind your
oh,
name.
behind the bars.
Yep, yep.
So my real name is Brian Burns, and my parents didn't give me a middle name. So when I moved to California, we would have freestyle ciphers just on the block. I would walk with the boombox, walk with a speaker, and have beats playing, and then a bunch of artists or random people would just walk up to me and be like, like let's freestyle, and I'm like dope. And then every time I would go, they would just literally just say bars, bars, bars like that. That's all they would say.
Man,
Like, so I was just like, let me add the bars to my name, and I just ran with it like that. Like,
that is so dope. Describe a regular day in the life of Brian Bars Burns.
regular day in the life of Triple B. Wake up, meditate, eat some breakfast, go to the gym. I'm always listening to beats, so that's like a nonstop thing. So like I always got like rhymes going on in my head. So like no matter what I'm doing, even when I'm like talking to my mom, like I still got something going through my mind. Like oh, this goes like well together. I'm thinking of some cold like metaphor or some shit. Like, but
Man,
yeah, like I'm usually in the gym, working out, or reading a cool book, learning new words, or watching some
oh,
Japanese anime.
yeah, that's what's up. And do you make your own beats, or they give
I'm
people
actually
email them to
getting
you?
I'm actually getting into that. I'm getting into the making beats, but right now we just going crazy with the bars. But I definitely want to tap into the making beats though, for sure.
Nice. So, what's your go-to meal or favorite meal? Favorite meal.
Favorite meal, I always like making red beans and rice. It's like a famous like New Orleans, Louisiana dish, like red beans and rice, gumbo, jambalaya, dirty
Oh,
rice, like all that, like all those Louisiana Southern meals, like
yo,
those
what's
are
gumbo? What's gumbo?
so gumbo. It's like you could put a mixture of things in there. Like some people put crabs, some people put sauces. Like my mom puts like a mixture of things, and she whips it up so nice. So like yeah, it's just like it's rice with like whatever you want in it. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's
Oh,
it's delicious.
I'm gonna Google it after. I'm so intrigued.
Yeah. Get you some gumbo, man.
What are your interests outside of music? So when you're not making music or when you're not, thinking about rhymes or beats, what are you doing?
I'm into video games heavy. I love
Oh,
video games. I'm into like animation, like the process of it, like
mm,
the detail that goes into making like animated stuff. I'm into that heavy. Reading, obviously, I love
yeah.
reading books. Yeah, those are like top. Yeah, I say top three for sure.
Man, okay. Tell me the deal with cryptocurrency because I see you on the stories. I see you there,
Oh, crypto.
Bitcoin, whatever cryptocurrency. I
Yeah.
see you making mad money there. Share with us, please.
Yeah.
Share with us, oh wise one.
So I started investing. I'm an independent artist, so I gotta find ways to fund my craft. Being independent, most of that money comes out of our own pocket. So yeah, the cryptocurrency. Yeah, we trade Bitcoin, and we trade different currencies in the market. So I do high frequency forex, and it's pretty much we make money in minutes, and it is a dope skill that I've been mastering, and
Yes.
it has literally changed my life. Like I literally make money from my phone. Like
Yes.
I make what I made at my regular job in minutes. Like I
Man.
make my hourly in minutes, man. So how does that not make you wanna, like
So are you loaded? Are you like drowning in like cash or something, or any
um,
secrets? Oi.
I'm not gonna say I'm rich in the mind. I never say that I'm broke, because when you say that and have that mentality, that like the words you speak are powerful. So
Right.
I'm already wealthy. You know what I'm saying? But
Yo.
I manage my money well, and
Yeah.
I invest it. So I don't just spend it on dumb stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a great answer. You got me. Um, would you agree that it's important to learn, study, and understand like music of the past, like the history of music? I mean, obviously for you, as a hip hop art, as a MC, I mean, do you look back on the past and take those gems and use it in your music today, or
Absolutely.
yeah?
I listen to all different types of music, so I'm
Mm,
influenced by jazz music, obviously rap, but oldies like R&B and soul. And yeah, of course, I think it's imperative that artists go back and study that,
mm,
because without that, we wouldn't be here. So I'm always about paying homage to the artists who paved the way for us to be here at
mm.
this moment right now in the present time. So yeah, I feel like that's extremely important always.
Yeah. You mentioned jazz because in the Back Home EP, there's a song Jazzy, there's a song Hip
Yeah.
Hop Jazz, and then in Dynamic Duo, there's Piano Jazz.
And
And honestly, like in that Back Home EP album, the Jazzy is the instrumental. Is that a
yep,
saxophone?
yep,
It's oh my
yeah, those.
yo,
I love
it's
those beats on
so
that
oh
project.
my
I love
goodness.
those beats. But yeah,
Like
that was me, taking it back to my roots growing up in New
mm,
Orleans, because New Orleans is a jazz city. So
right, right.
I literally grew up around that. So I was like, for that back home, like I'm taking it back to the essence of true hip hop, but I'm also
Mm,
taking it back to my home, New Orleans, where I grew up at, where I
mm,
always heard jazz. Like where, like, I would see a musician on the corner with a saxophone. You know what I mean? Like he might not even have a crowd out there, but he's still playing his butt off. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
yeah. So like I literally grew up around that. So I had to. I knew that I would apply that to my music. Like
Man, it's awesome, mate. Because I listened to Dynamic Duo first, and then when I listened to Piano Jazz, oh my god, I fell in love with the song
yeah,
because I had never like heard anything like that before. And then when I was listening to Back Home, and then I heard that, I was like,
yeah,
okay, I see
that's
what you're
all.
doing there, man.
Yeah, and that's dope, because that came out. I released that in 2017. So
Yeah,
yeah, so like those rhymes are from way back, a little couple years. Like so.
yeah, man. And like I say this, like I've told my friends when I talk about your music, I'm like, I literally found out about you and Ollie Dodge through a story, like Instagram story, right?
That's crazy.
Um,
The
through
power of social
Novelist.
media.
Yeah, man, bro, for real. So I was watching Novelist. I mean, I'm sure he's a good friend of yours, Novelist from Clear Soul Forces.
He's the
And he was like promoting snippets of the track Hyperbolic Rhyme Chamber that you guys do, right?
one of my
And
favorite.
then I saw that the album was dropping in January. I got super excited, started adding you guys. Went on bank. No, I once the album dropped, listened for a whole week. Like I was so amazed. I was just in this
Yo, yeah,
like dynamic duo playing over and over.
yo, shout out to
And then
Nolly.
went on Bandcamp, downloaded the album there because I love supporting my favorite artists out there on Bandcamp. And yeah, man, like Dynamic Duo, how have people like received the album? Because I've been reading reviews and some
Yo,
great reviews out there on the album.
man, the album has been getting great reception. Like
Mm.
this website, I think it's like Hip Hop Golden Age. They put it as one of the best albums of
Yes,
2021. So
I
I
saw that.
I saw that and I was like, yo, like I said to Dolly, I'm like, yo, like we made the top list. Like,
Yo, man, I saw that. I was like, that is amazing. So good. Like, how do you feel about that when you see something like that? And I mean,
I'm I'm extremely grateful because it's like we literally did the music that we wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
it's boom bap, it's lo-fi. Like, you know, you listen to like the topics I'm talking about on that album. Like it's so us, and like that's why I'm so proud of that body of work. And it is a 20-track album, so it's like, you know, people don't usually go through a 20-track
Nah,
album. You know
man.
what I mean? Especially like the rap game now. Like
Yeah.
if you don't catch people's attention, like
Yeah.
they're on to the next person, they're on to the next artist, you know. So like for people to, and even if you don't like all 20 songs, you gonna like something off that album, like you
Right,
know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, so it's like I'm just grateful to have a body of work that will stand the test of time, you know what I mean, have longevity
Yeah.
behind it, you know, like
I mean, I definitely am one of those people. Like, if I like an album, man, I am playing that. Like, I am just gonna be like on the train commuting, listening to that over and over. And Dynamic Duo is definitely like every song. Like, obviously, I have my favorites, but every song on there, um, like I loved. Like,
yeah,
it
so
just, I just couldn't stop listening to it, bro. Seriously, it's just some amazing
I
work.
appreciate that, definitely.
So I noticed that you're always ripping the 504.
Yeah.
And then the boombox.
The
The
boom bap.
boombox. It's 504 and then the boombox. Bro, tell our
Boom.
listeners, our viewers about this boombox, because you know they're gonna be checking out your Instagram looking
All right.
for pictures. Tell me about the boombox. What's
So
up?
the boom box, when I was living in Cali, for about, I would say about a year or two in, I went to this store called Big Lots, and they're known for like having like Bluetooth speakers on the shelves sometimes, and like the speakers would be like $20 to $30. So
Right.
one day I went in there and they had a boombox style Bluetooth speaker, and I was like, I'm like,
You're like,
no.
yo.
I'm like, the universe is talking to me right now, like they're blessing me right now. So, but that's where like the speaker, like the boombox stuff started at. It wasn't the first speaker I started with. It wasn't the boombox style. It was just like a regular like speaker. I gotta send you that on. I'm gonna send it to
Yeah,
you.
man. Yeah, you
I
gotta
gotta
send
show
it
you
in.
all the speakers I done ran through. Like, oh man. But yeah.
But I did notice something today. There was like a new picture on your story.
Oh
With this
man.
really, I'm sorry. Did you? I'm sorry. Did you upgrade overnight? There's this like fancy schmancy looking
Yeah.
boombox. I was like, oh, someone got the upgrade,
Yo, man,
bro.
that was an early B-Day gift. My birthday's on April.
Yay!
Yeah, that was an early
April
B-Day
12th.
gift. Yeah, I'm an Aries, so yeah, that was an
Man,
early
that
B-Day gift.
looks nice. I was like,
Man,
bro, who did he bribe to get this? I was like,
yo, it bumps so crazy. Like but it's so big. Like it's like 50 pounds.
that's why I said, I was like, bro, you're gonna have to like be one of those so not cool kids walking
Yeah,
with a trailer with
bro,
a trolley with your boombox on.
it's so big. Yeah, I
Man.
can't wait to get back to Cali and bump that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Do you think that there's a link between ethics and music?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I would
And
say.
in this, I mean, in this day and age of like with the internet, right? It seems like anyone's just kind of like putting music out there,
Oh yeah.
just overnight. And there are some people who make the big hit and then they're suddenly famous, and then there are others who are just still grinding. What do you think about that with the whole 24 hours, getting your music up, all of a sudden people blowing up, others are still doing
Um, I feel like as far as like the rap,
mm,
I feel like a lot of the artists, like they're just trying to get, they want the instant gratification. Like they
mm,
want the overnight, and they want to blow up quick instead of putting in the work and actually building a solid fan base to,
right.
get it to a certain level. it's just we need the balance. I always talk about this, like, because you got dope MCs, you got whack artists, like but we just gotta balance it all out, because but what's being promoted is the stuff that poisons our minds, like, and that's not an on accident thing. Like, they've been doing that since the beginning, like, to shift the paradigm. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I do what I do, and like, we on the front lines, like.
Man. Musical influences. I read in an article about your father being someone who influenced you in terms of your music. Tell us a little bit about your dad.
Yeah, my dad. So yeah, he played the piano, he played the drums, and he could sing. But yeah, so like, I was literally born into the music, like, and I actually come from like a music like family. Like, I got cousins who've been in the industry, like all kind of stuff. But yeah, my dad, like, that's who passed it down to me. Like, so salute to my pops, man, because if it wasn't for him, I don't even think I would have been heavy into it like that, like he put me on everything from jazz to rap to R&B to like just everything. Like, everything.
So do you sing?
Yeah, I can sing a little bit.
Sing a tune. Drop some. Sing us a tune. Were you like an R&B singer before you became a rapper?
Yeah, before I even had a thought of rapping, like, I was singing first, singing in like preschool plays, all the way up to elementary school, like, so.
Wow.
Yeah, I was heavy into it, like singing to girls, trying to get girls, singing R&B songs and all that.
Were you like Chris Brown? Excuse me, miss.
Yeah.
With the dance, with the moves and everything.
I love that joint. Yeah.
I know, man, bro. That's the joint right there.
Yeah, like Mario, Let Me Love You.
Yes.
Like,
oh my gosh.
Like,
those days, those days.
Genuine, like all that stuff. Like,
oh my gosh, did you say Genuine? Well, I'm not gonna ask you to sing the song that I think you were singing. Sorry, this is a family-friendly show.
One of my favorite Genuine songs is "Love You More." I love you more. That's one of my favorite.
Yo.
That's my turn.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. Brian Bars Burns.
That was like.
Bro, I love that. Do you play any instruments, or is there an instrument that you've always wanted to play?
Saxophone. I always wanted to learn how to play the saxophone. Like,
yo.
Always.
What's your excuse, man?
I know.
You from New Orleans?
I know that's gonna take time and dedication, though. Like, I'm doing too much right now. Like, I'm gonna have to be like extra focused if I'm trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. That is awesome. What's a problem that you've encountered on your journey as an artist?
A problem that I've encountered. Like I said earlier, being independent, it takes a little longer to get to the level that we trying to get to, so we could, like, push our music to the masses. But the world of rap that I'm in, like, the people, like the music speaks for itself. So like the real ones who love it, they already show that, like, so it's like I don't trip on like, oh, okay, like this guy's like in a different position, like he's higher than me, like he has this much more success than me. So like I don't let like that kind of stuff like discourage me like off my path. I just keep doing what I do and stay in my lane. But yeah, I would say, having to, fund my own stuff. Like I pay for all my videos. I book studio time sometimes, like I gotta pay for mix and mastering. Like I got, you know what I mean? Like it's so much. And people don't see the behind the scenes of like what artists go through for on the independent route. Like a lot of people don't see what goes on behind the scenes. So you know, they just see what I post on like social media and they think,
Right,
oh,
right.
he's on, like he made it, like,
You're
but they,
like, yo, he's just in a cipher like
you know
every
what I
day.
mean?
Like
Like,
he
but they
doesn't
don't,
do anything.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but they don't see like all the work that takes to put in, and like the confidence that goes all in that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just like, you know what I mean? Like yeah, like I know I'm dope. I know I got the talent. Like I know that, you know, but like it's a lot that goes into it too, and a lot that I've been through to, you know, have this confidence with it, you know. So
Nice. So I don't know. Do you know Blueprint, the rapper? He's a Blueprint. He's a
Blueprint.
rapper.
Is
Blueprint. I'll send you his Instagram account
the
later.
name?
But
The
so
name
there's this,
sounds familiar.
yeah, you probably have heard of him. So that he's like a rapper. He's an author as well, producer.
Oh,
So
dope.
Blueprint, he wrote this book called What a Night, and it's made up of like 15 stories of the worst shows ever that they've been
Damn.
like that they've done on the road. It's hilarious. Like
Damn.
it's so funny. So I wanted to ask you, like, have you got any stories of like, I mean, have you ever done a show that was like, oh my god, that was just never again? Like, do you have any of those stories?
Oh yeah, for sure. I ain't even gonna front right now. When I was living with my pops in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that's like 30, 45 minutes outside of New Orleans. There was a showcase that I got into. It was a showcase, and like the entry fee was like $500. Like you had to pay $500 to just for the entry fee.
Wow.
And then I remember my older brother Lance had paid for it, and I had hit him up. I was like, "Yo, they got the showcase, and like if you won the showcase, you got like some record deal, or like you got some like single deal or some distribution deal type thing." And so when it came time to perform, they let us do like 2 songs, and so like I got up there and like I didn't freeze, but like I got into the song and then like I just froze up,
Oh
like
man.
like I was going, and then like it just went like just silence, like and then like, you know what I mean, it just went all bad from there. Like, yeah, no, I def have those moments. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I never had any like downfalls with the, you know what I mean, like, so it's
Yeah.
like, I
Live
definitely.
and learn, right? Live and learn.
I
Um
was young. I was young too. Like, I wasn't even a teenager yet. Like when that
yeah.
happened.
Man, do you remember the first song that you or the first rap that you ever wrote? And like what was it
Oh,
called? And has it appeared in any of your albums or in your EP?
the first rap that I wrote. I wrote my first rhyme after Hurricane Katrina happened.
Mm.
It's not on anything that I recorded. But yeah, I wrote my first rhyme after Hurricane Katrina, and so that was 6th grade because I was 11 going on 12. But yeah, damn, yeah, man, you just took me back real quick. Yeah, so yeah, that man, yeah, 11 years old, like,
Do you think that you will ever put it on? I mean, do you think it would ever appear on an album in the future or
uh,
nah?
nah, probably not. It was real, like just kind of deep. It was about Hurricane Katrina
Mm,
and like having to move and like start a whole new life and having
mm,
to adapt to like this new life that I had to adapt to after dealing with the hurricane. So
mm.
that's all it was about. Like, but it was dope because it came out cool because it was like I was describing like Katrina like as a person, like
Ooh.
described it as like a female who like broke my heart, and you know what I
Oh,
mean, you know what I'm saying,
yeah, yeah.
like some cool poetic like stuff, you know what I mean. So yeah, that was my first rhyme I ever wrote, and I stuck with it ever since. Like,
Wow. What's the best advice that someone has ever given you? Just about being an artist or maybe life advice. I don't know.
best advice as an artist, to keep the same energy that I have, and to remember my why. Like,
Mm,
why am I still doing it? Like, why do you do it? What you do it for? You know what I mean? Like, what gets you up every day to keep you going? You know what I'm saying? And rap the way you do, and walk and talk the way you do when it comes to the music. So yeah, keep that same energy. Like,
Nice.
for
What's
sure.
your creative process like in terms of like do you need to be like in terms of writing music? Are you someone that kind of like just takes time out, logs out of all social media, and you're just in this like headspace with no distractions? Or are you someone who just kind of like is driving or walking on the road and your rhymes are coming to you? Like, what's the writing process like for you?
Yeah, the writing process. Sometimes it just comes to me instantly. So sometimes I don't even write it down. Sometimes it's kind of just a thought out thing in my head. Like I know Jay-Z does that. Like
Mm.
I know Jay-Z he doesn't write it down. He just kind of thinks of it in his head, and then he goes in the booth and does it. Like so sometimes it happens like that. But I still like the art of writing. Like
Mm.
I still like writing it down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and starting with like a thesis and ending with your conclusion. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's like English class. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you're writing an essay. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. But the process, like it could be anything. You know, like I was telling you, anything could spark it. Like this conversation with you can spark
Mm.
something. You know what I mean? Like something you might say, I might be like, damn, like that could be a song. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Or like if I'm like hearing beats, like if the beat zones me out like instantly, like I'll come up with something like right on the spot. Like it's like, oh yeah, we in there. Let's get it. Like, you know what I mean? So it could be of multiple things that could
Mm.
spark my inspiration to writing a song.
Wow. I want to go back to dynamic duo. Um, how did
Dynamic.
you? Yeah, man. How did you link up with Ollie Dodge? I mean, damn,
OD.
his beats are just
Yo,
something else. You know, like
yo,
how did
I
you connect?
bro, I tell Ali all the time. I'm like, yo, your beats, like, and that's why we click so well
Mm,
because every time he played a beat, I would be inspired. Like he would send me home with so many beats, and I would have songs to him the next day, and he'd be like,
mm.
"Yo, what?" He's like, "Yo, what are you eating over there, man?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, man, yeah, Ali, that he's one of my best friends now. The relationship we built like through the music
Mm.
is so dope because like and how we met. Like, I met him outside of a bar in a freestyle cipher. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Of course you did.
so yeah, he came in the cipher, like he even spit a freestyle himself. Like it was so dope. And then he invited me to the studio, and we instantly clicked. And like I said, it was like Guru and DJ Premier when they did the Gangstar albums. You know what I mean? When
Mm.
they locked in, and like we started recording Dynamic before the end of 2019. So like starting in like August of 2019. So all the way through 2020. Like so.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know
that's my.
the back home, I know I'm going kind of back and forth, but
It's all good.
the back home EP, you begin with a timeline of the evolution and de-evolution of hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Why was it important for you to begin the EP that way?
Um, that EP, because the whole concept of that EP
Mm,
was taking it back to the true essence of hip hop. So I wanted to remind people about the true elements of hip hop culture. And people always say, I hate when people say this, like people say hip hop music, and I'm like, it's not a genre. It is literally a culture. Like,
right, right,
people like, they're always like hip hop artists and hip hop music. I'm like, no,
right,
like, hip hop is the culture, rap is the genre. Like, please
right,
stop
right.
saying hip hop music. Like, I cringe every time people say it. Like, I'm just like, stop, like, please. Yeah, no, that intro, I love that intro, and then the Raekwon part where he's like,
Mm,
I don't see anybody coming in with, you know what I mean? Like
yes.
it could be because everybody thinks that they have to follow this formula in order
Yes.
to make it now. Like, but you could still stick to the true essence and make it. You know what I mean? So that's all I was. That's all. That is the only statement I was getting across with that. Like,
Right, and that like leads on to my next the next question because in the hook for the song for the art, moving in silence, let your actions speak loud. You can't step in my cipher if you follow the crowd. Like
Yeah.
a gangster, I'm above the clouds, teaching you more. Like gangster, sorry. Hip hop to the core, art is what I do it for. So, I mean, you've already alluded to it, but how important is it for you to stay true to who you are, your values, and making sure that you're able to kind of like inspire and speak to people through your music? Because there's so much like negative type of like rap out there,
Yeah.
right? Like how important is it for you to be like, no, this is the type of music I want to make, and this is the direction I'm going.
You know, I always have artists who hit me up like, yo, like how should I approach this, or like
Mm.
how should I, stay on this path and keep my confidence up. I just tell them, stick to the art, believe in what you're doing, because at the end you'll get your cake with the candles and you'll be able to blow them out. You know what I mean? Like, have your own party. It's all good. Like, everything will work out how it's supposed to work out. I tell every artist that who always hit me up and ask me questions. But yeah, staying true to who you are, and just being authentic. Like, people gonna feel that. You know what I mean? Like, just like you hit me like, yo, like the music, like it speaks for itself. Like, it'll speak for itself. You don't even have to do anything. Like, just keep doing you. Like, that's it. That's all you gotta do. Like,
Right.
yeah, and just
Um,
stay true.
in an article, it says your rhyme style is heavily influenced by the golden era of rap and MCs like Black Thought, Guru, Nas, Andre 3000, and Talib Kweli, one of my faves. Just a few MCs who have inspired you to always stay sharp with your rhymes. Okay, so and then on the Elevate the Culture song, it's you say paying homage to the pioneers of the game. Watch out for the vultures. Before we head into who are your faves and whatnot, who are the vultures that you're referring to here? What when you're talking about vultures,
There's the vultures. There's
vulture.
yeah, there's a certain group. There's an elite group. Um, I give you an example. When NWA did F the police,
Mm,
and the government sent them a letter like, yo, like, y'all can't do this because
right,
it's
right.
provoking. It's, what I mean, it's making people, what I mean, they thought it was putting a bad look on police, but they were just rapping about what they saw in their neighborhood and what police were doing to them. So that's a perfect example, because
Mm.
it's like, when you make music that is thought provoking, it it scares them. You know what I mean? Like, it scares that certain elite group who don't want us to have people be critical thinkers, and what I mean, like, have the knowledge that we feed people. So yeah, like, those are the vultures in my opinion. So
Right, right. And
yeah.
so you're paying homage to these pioneers, these amazing lyricists and MCs who've been in the game for a long time. Who would you most like to collaborate with on an album or
True.
perform with?
Man, Talib would be nice. I mean, I was actually listening to Reflection Eternal today. Like, that's,
Right. Oh man, I so
man,
like listen to it all the
I had to
time.
run back through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Talib for sure. Black Thought. Jeez, like, man, Doom. MF Doom was one of my favorites, but unfortunately, he passed away last year, October 31st. Rest in peace. Um, yeah. So who I said? I said Talib, Black Thought, MF Doom,
Mm.
Most Def. Shoot,
Too many to name.
yeah, Andre, Nas, like, it's so many. Like,
Have you met any of these amazing MCs? Have you
man,
met any of them?
I actually met before Corona got all crazy. The last concert that I went to was a Rhapsody concert. I met Rhapsody. She's man.
Oh wow.
Yo, I got to
He
rap for her.
is
Like,
what?
yeah, that was incredible. Like, that was so dope, man. That picture's on it's on my Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my god, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Rhapsody is dope. Like, if we could do something, that'd be, man.
So dynamic duo. What's your favorite song on the album?
Man, my favorite song on Dynamic. Oh, if I could just pick one right now, Like I love days like this because it's not like that one's actually not like super lyrical. Like
Mm,
I'm just kind of just giving you like just the real and being like vulnerable as an artist, you know,
yeah.
like so that is one of my favorites. I felt like that one was kind of slept on. Like people slept on that one. I love that beat too.
I
Like
love that song. I love
it's
it.
kind of it's like it's dreamy and kind of like you know what I mean. Like it
Yeah,
puts you in this like dreamy state. Like
right. It
yeah,
definitely takes you to a place.
yeah, you feel me? Like so it's
Yeah,
like yeah, days like this. Obviously, hyperbolic rhyme chamber. Nav just
I know.
he slaughtered that.
How awesome is it to work with novelists? I mean, he's a good friend of yours.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I met
how, man?
yeah, I met Nav at a Clear Soul Forces meet and greet, and when they came to Cali, they were on
Yeah,
their they were doing their first U.S. tour,
right.
and I pulled up with I was Bree was actually with me that
Mm.
day. Yeah, Bree was with me, and we went to the meet and greet, and I pulled up with the boombox, of course.
Here's the
With the
boombox.
boombox.
Have to.
Yeah, we got to chop it up. Real cool dude, real down to
Yeah,
earth, solid dude. And then I got to see him perform, and those dudes are incredible. Like I
right.
got yeah, so I'm real cool with him and LAZ.
Yeah.
They real cool people, man.
Yeah, I also reached out to LAZ. I was like, bro, you know, because he like was asking me about some books and things. I was like, bro, you gotta come on the podcast. He's like, I got you. I was like, you better.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hopefully, you know, we'll get him on here as well.
yeah, good people.
Um, so on again, dynamic duo. Um, there are these. You collab with these just amazing artists like MCs. How do you link? How did you connect with the likes of Afro, Harry Mack, or
Mac,
Novelist Very Explained?
yeah.
How do you connect? I mean, as an independent artist, is it hard to, you know, to link up? Like, obviously you're doing, you know, all the legwork. Like, how are you meeting these people? Is it through
Man,
like networking?
yeah, that for sure. You know, then that you know like that, and that's the power of social media.
Mm,
Like it's not really hard to reach these artists now. You can send them
yeah.
a message, and you know, hopefully they respond. Sometimes they won't.
They
You
might give you the scene.
know, you know what I mean. But like that's like the cool part about it now. Like it's easier to reach. Like back in the day, like you had to go through so many people just to reach like the artist. You know what I mean. But now
Mm,
you could get to them pretty easy now. But and some of it was in person because sometimes I like it like that too because
mm,
it's so organic and authentic that way. Like when you meet them in person and it's like it's
mm,
not through like a screen. You know what I'm saying? Like you meet these people in person and it's like we get to vibe on that level. So that's what happened with Afro and that's what happened with Harry Mack. Ali actually introduced me to Harry Mack.
mm.
I was actually working at my 9 to 5 one night and Ali had texted me and he was like, yo, like what you doing? I'm with Harry Mack. You know the freestyle dude?
What?
He was like, you know the freestyle dude? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Harry Mack, yeah, for sure. Um, and then I was like, yo, I'm getting off soon. Like y'all trying to kick it? Like, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
So they were at this bar that was like a couple doors down
Mm.
from where I worked at this restaurant. And yeah, we lit it. We linked. I had my speaker with me, and I kid you not, me and Harry Mack freestyled for 2 hours straight.
Oh my
2 hours
god.
straight off the dome, like 2 hours straight, like, and that night was incredible.
Wow.
That night was crazy. And then the same thing with Afro. You know, I met him through RA the Rugged Man.
And he's all over the show.
Yeah,
Afro. He
he's
is
crazy.
everywhere.
He
Like
goes.
he's on the Talib Kweli and the latest you
The
know,
one
their
with,
album that's gonna drop, right? He's
I
on
think it's
there.
called Gotham or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's on there. I was like, what?
yeah, he going crazy. I think he just finished his album.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
I think he just finished it, so can't wait to hear that. But yeah, it's the same way. Like I met Afro and we freestyled on the block to Jay Dilla beats. You know what I mean? Like, and
Nice.
I say that on Bar Maniacs. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
it's like first time I met Afro and Mac, knew they was my killers. Both times was on the block freestyling to Dilla. Like, it's like
Yeah, that song you guys do is Oh my, it's
Bar
so
Mania.
dope. Hey,
That's
I
one
was
of
just
my
like,
favorites too, for sure.
yeah, I was just like, oh my, how did they get these guys in one room? I mean,
Yo, like
come
I got
on.
Afro and Harry Mack on the
I
same
was
song.
just like, this is a dream collab right here. Like, that's why I was like, I gotta ask, how did you get them on there? Because,
Yeah, I
man, that is a sick song.
yeah, Mac, I had hit up. Well, no, I actually had hit up Afro first. I hit up Afro first. I was like, yo, I got this joint. My homie Ali made. It's called Bar Maniacs. Don't know how much you charge for features, but I definitely want to get you on this.
Yeah.
He hit me back with the price, and I was like, oh, I got you. Like, sent him the money, and he sent it back to me literally in like a day or two. Like, and I was like,
Wow.
yo, like he slaughtered it.
I
Like,
know, right?
slaughtered it. I was like, damn. And same thing with Mac. Like I hit up Mac and Mac just did it because he had already met me and like we had already vibed and kicked it so many times. He was just like, yo, I got you. Like so he had came to the studio, laid it down. Afro did it from where he was at, but Mac had actually came through to the studio and did it and knocked it out in like less than an hour. Like like less like in actually less than 30. Like
Wow.
yeah, he murked it. Like,
Man, that is a winner for real. Who outside of like hip hop, outside of rappers? I mean, I know you got your favorite rappers. Um,
yeah.
who are some of your other favorite musicians? Like perhaps in other genres, do you have like a favorite
Oh,
band or?
man, that's a great question. Yeah, I love. I'm a huge Donny Hathaway fan. Donny Hathaway, Nina Simone, Gil Scott Heron. Yo, Lonnie Liston Smith, John Coltrane, Marvin Gaye, Whitney Houston, Sade, Anita Baker. Like like I could go on for days. Like
Man, that
Fela
is
Kuti. Like
yeah, yeah.
I mean, like yes, it's so many who just inspire me on the daily.
Amazing. That is dope. So there's a song, "Follow Your Heart," um, featuring
Oh,
Brie
Moonlight,
Marie,
yeah,
right?
Moonlight.
Moonlight, right? Yeah. But in the song, there's this line, um, basketball player before rap, D1 schools calling, triple B nice with it. I mean, triple B nice with a pen quit. That basketball player before rap, D1
Yeah,
schools calling. I was like, honestly, I was like listening. I was like, wait, hold up.
they
Let
like
me
wait.
go back.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Tell her, come on, man. Shit,
Yeah.
where does that line come from? You a b-ball player?
Yeah. So before I even got into the music heavy, I played. I played. I was heavy into basketball. Played point guard.
Mm,
From that was from the age of I would say I started at like 5. Started playing at like 5. Just started playing on little teams, and then like once I got older, it got into like AAU basketball and all that. But yeah, I actually had a scholarship to Clemson University, and
wow.
I had got a bad injury. I had broke my
Mm,
tibia bone right before I started ninth grade. So right before high school, I had broke my tibia bone, and that kind of like it like they kind of like they stopped calling me. Like you know what I mean? Like
man.
they stopped calling me. So not it slowed me down, but it didn't like not that I wasn't the same, but it kind of was at the same time. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like it's like yeah. So when you get those injuries, they kind of
Mm,
they kind of put a hold on you. Like it was all good. Like I always loved basketball, but basketball had got to a point where it just wasn't like it wasn't fun anymore for
mm,
me. Like you know what I mean? And then that's when I kind of just stayed started drowning myself in the music, and I
yeah.
fell in love with the music. So but yeah, no, yeah, basketball was my life. Like all
Wow.
day, all day.
So in August 2020, you released a song with Brie Marie. You've done these like amazing, like you've made some really cool music with Array. But
Yeah,
this song was uh called Frontlines.
yeah, front lines. Yep.
Frontlines. And obviously, the social climate last year. It's about like it's obviously it's around racial injustices, and I guess like the song is like so powerful. And I was just wondering, like when I was watching the video, like growing up, like what were your experiences as a young black man growing up? I mean, were you ever like stopped by the cops or like
Oh yeah,
first? Do you
sure.
know what I mean? Like, what experiences can you speak to, like in
Uh,
regards to
yeah,
that?
definitely dealt with racism at a
Mm,
young age to where, you know, and yeah, nah, that it opened my eyes so early to it, and it was like, damn, like this is what people be on. Like I'm like, damn, dude, like this is crazy. Yeah, from a young age, getting stopped by cops just because they think you fit the description of whatever's going on or what, you know what I mean, just all or all the stuff that comes with being a young black male
mm,
in this country. But yeah, that song, I feel like that song is timeless because it
mm,
speaks like volumes to what is still going on now,
yeah,
and like I I hate to say it, but it's like I would hate that that song is still relevant in like 2030. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Like at some point, like this is gonna have to change. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, or it's like we will literally be stuck in the same position. Like
mm,
all the marching and protesting and like all of it's for nothing if we're in the same position. Like
mm.
so. But yeah, I've definitely dealt with racism young, like especially growing up in the South. Like it,
Right, right.
it's so heavy. It's so heavy down here. Like it's not even. You can walk outside and see it. Like like you know what I mean. So
Mm.
yeah, definitely. All right.
So there's this other project which I love that you did with Marie. It's the
He, he,
BEP.
he.
Okay, so there are 5 tracks on this, and it's produced entirely by Yondo. Is it? I don't know if I said the name right,
Yeah,
Yondo.
Yando. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a short film as well, which is so
Yo,
cool. I mean,
man.
like, bro, seriously, I was like, oh, okay, you model. I was like, stop it. But bro, like the concept of the album, can you speak to that? I don't want to give it away, but can you speak to
Nah,
the
you're good.
concept? Because it's so man,
What's crazy
so
about
good.
that project? Like me and Bree did that. We started writing that in like 2018. I kid you not. And like
What?
yeah, like a whole bunch of life stuff started happening, and like
Mm,
we kind of put it on hold. Like she had to go away for a little bit. I had to do
mm,
my thing for a little bit. So when it finally came back together and we got to release it, it was so beautiful. Like I
bro,
can't even.
seriously.
Yeah, I can't even describe the feeling. But yeah, like that. Yeah, so we started in 2018, got in the studio, like recorded it, and it just came out so beautiful. And that short film we shot, like
Oh,
we shot that in 2 days. That was
really?
five videos in 2 days. We shot that in 2 days.
Solid, bro. It's so fire.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I love that project because it actually shows a different side of me from what I usually do.
right,
So
right.
you listen to Dynamic Duo, that is a whole different vibe from the beat.
Exactly.
So like, and that's why I love doing music with her because she always makes me like tap into that other side of me that people probably won't see on certain songs. So like
Right.
we always make like great music together. And I've known Bree since high school. I've known her
Yeah.
since she was 13 years old. She's 26 now, like about to be 27 in October. Yeah, so like yeah, that's one of my best friends. Like,
Yeah, I love that. The whole there's like B and then a whole list of like be wise,
oh
be
yeah,
legendary, be revolutionary, be
yep,
grateful, be
that,
original. I
yep.
mean, the
That was the
concept is
whole.
amazing.
That was the whole concept behind it. Remember to be, like remember to
Man.
always be, like
Oh,
oh yeah,
I
I,
had to ask, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
so dope.
yeah, I'm good.
So, some like in your songs, you always talk about not always, but a word that comes up a lot is longevity, right?
Longevity.
Longevity, and so this idea that you're going to be around for a while. Okay,
Sorry.
so as I mentioned before, there are a lot of like these legendaries, like rappers who have been, they've been on the grind for years, man. These lyricists, MCs, and they're still putting out like great music,
Yeah,
albums. Jay Z, Nas. Buster just like he's
Yep.
on,
That Busta Rhymes
Talib
album, yeah,
Kweli. They just put that out. Buster's on there, right?
going in.
Eminem, Royce the 5'9", Talib. Like where do you see yourself in 10 years? I mean, a lot of these guys are like in their 40s. I mean, like 40s, I don't know, maybe 50s or late 40s. Do you hope to still be making music? I mean, that's a long ways away for you. But do you still hope to be making music at that age?
Yeah,
Or are you hoping to retire with that cryptocurrency? Or
yeah, for
and
sure.
just, I mean, what yeah, 10 years from now or 15 years from now, where do you see yourself?
I see myself running my own label and having artists under me, and yeah, I
Nice.
would definitely still be making music. I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be that old cat like who still be kicking it with the young dudes. Like, oh, y'all think y'all can spit? Like, let's go.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, yeah,
I love that.
for sure. Like, yeah, I'm gonna still have a boombox and everything. I don't care what.
So got your boombox, man.
Yeah.
So that's the dream. And Lupe Fiasco.
Lupe.
Lupe, I'm a huge fan of the Lupe and Royce show, bro. That is my favorite podcast. Like Lupe and Royce are hilarious. I mean, they discuss some fun stuff on there. I mean,
They go
but then
well.
there's some serious stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you mentioned Lupe. The reason why I bring him up, you're like lyricism Lupe level, and then you mentioned
Oh
Lupe and the several other songs. So
yeah.
what do you like about Lupe Fiasco? Tell me. Were you a skateboard kid? No, no.
And Lupe, oh man, Lupe.
Have you met him?
Nah, I have not met Lupe. I would love to meet Lupe. Lupe, one
Gotta
of
do
my,
a song with her, man.
and I would have to. My pin game gonna have to be.
And he loves Japan too. He always says on his podcast, like once travel opens up, he's moving to Japan.
Lupe is, what I love about Lupe is his lyricism is just like every time I listen to Lupe, I gotta go back and listen. I gotta go
Right.
back and listen because I know it's something that I didn't catch that first
Yeah.
listen, and I'm like, hold up, like Lupe really make you think when he rap, and that's why I like Lupe. Like he's one of the few MCs who do that. Royce too. I love Royce because Royce could spit too, but he'll spit some stuff that'll make you be like, oh wait, hold up. Like same thing with like an Eminem, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
They're more like with the technical part of it, you know what I mean? Like they bending words, they saying metaphors that make you be like, wait, what? You know what I mean? So yeah, Lupe, Food and Liquor, one of my favorite
Yeah,
albums
yeah.
of all time. Lupe is incredible. Like one of the greatest lyricists ever.
Nice, nice. Now, there's a Madlib salute song. I
Man,
watched the video, right? Madlib, that's what's up, right? Now, that's where you mention lyricism Lupe level. You talk about Michelle Alexander, the new Jim Crow. You talk about Tulsa, Black Wall Street. You talk about school textbooks. The narratives that they're teaching, they're wrong. I mean, obviously. Um, so, you're a reader. You've mentioned that several times. How does reading help you with writing, with your writing, with your rhymes?
They always say reading is
Yeah.
fundamental, you know. Um, so yeah, when it comes to the reading, it's like I never run out of stuff to talk about. Like I always have something to talk about, no matter what type of book it is, whether it's about the Jim Crow, whether it's about the prison industrial complex, and all, like yeah, I always have something to talk about. So that's why I love reading and
Mm.
learning new words that I don't know. Like it's always cool to go look them up in the dictionary or
Right, right.
Google it up. Like
Yeah. And don't forget that you need to Google the pronunciation.
yeah, make sure I'm saying these words right, man. These critics gonna come at me, man. Like,
Hard. So what was I mean, did you have a favorite book growing up? Or were you a reader when you were growing up? Or was it like, I mean, some kids don't like to read. So
yeah,
were you
I,
one of them
I did.
kids?
I did like to read. I wouldn't say I had a favorite book growing up, but I definitely like to read just different
Mm.
type of things, like just all kind of stuff. I was always just reading stuff, and then as I got older, like I would always like just write down random words, and then
Right.
I remember my teacher told me like, "Yo, like you'll be like a poet or something one day." Like, um, but yeah, nah, reading has helped me extremely. Like,
Nice. How would you you know, in this day and age of technology, a lot of young people, a lot of kids, like students, I see they're just on their phones. A lot of kids are just not really interested in books or reading. What would you do to get them hooked on reading, or at least a little bit more engaged?
man, I think like if we make it a way to where it's like cool to them, like it'll
Right.
like spark their interest, like
Yeah,
aren't you're a teacher, right?
I am.
You're a teacher, yeah. So like like you got to make it a way that'll spark them, like
Yeah, hard,
yeah,
hard.
everybody attention span is so like short now. Like it's like if we don't catch them, it's like
Yeah,
they gone, like they're gone, like.
yeah,
And like them being trapped in their phones like that, that's making it worse. So
for
you know,
real.
yeah, it's just finding a way to make it, spark them in a way,
Mhm.
like to where okay, like yo, if you read this, like I guarantee you're gonna be alright. Like
Yeah. But I mean, I think a big part of that as well is like representation, like making sure that there are books available in schools that they
mm,
want to read, right? That they see on the cover, oh man, that's someone that looks like me, or this story
exactly,
is about a family that is like my family.
exactly.
So I think that's a huge part of that engagement. Like I'm a huge
Yeah,
advocate for audiobooks, and I got a lot of my middle school kids like listening to audiobooks now. And
dope.
um, like it's just giving them the choices, like choose a book that really makes you happy, not the teachers forcing you to read it kind of thing, right?
Yeah, nah, true. I totally agree.
If a book was written about your life,
Oh,
what would the title be?
oh, a book was written about.
Boombox.
Oh, man, bars, like bars, like even from the moment I came out the womb to
Yeah.
now, like bars, like
Uh, okay.
like
Okay. 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 Now, finally, this is the part you've been waiting for. Share some of these books what are some books that you want to share with our listeners and
oh,
viewers? Drop the gems, man. Come on.
okay. Let's see. Let's name like five. Let's do yeah. Number one, the N Word by Jabari Asim.
Yo.
I told you about that one.
Mm,
Two, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. I think the author's name is like Rebecca Scoop or something.
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
I said that correctly.
It's all
Sorry.
right. I
Yeah.
will put it in
Sorry if I
in
said your
here.
name wrong, Rebecca. Number three, we already referenced this one, The New Jim Crow by Michelle
Yes.
Alexander.
Yes.
That is a mind blower for sure. Population Control by Jim Mars.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. And five, Native Son by Richard Wright. Native Son by Richard Wright or The Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois. Like,
It's so funny because Native Son. I did an interview yesterday with my friend in Saudi Arabia, and he mentioned that. I was
oh,
like,
dope.
"Yo, yeah." I was like, "He mentioned that." So Native Son definitely. So
That
those
is
are
a
some.
great book.
Yeah,
Great book. Great
I
read.
want to just go back to the N word. I'm reading that you recommended it, so I'm reading and listening to that now.
Dope.
You have an acronym for the N word.
Yes.
Can you drop the gems? Tell us, bro.
So
Tell us.
for the people changed it, the NIGGA term.
Mm,
I flipped it to never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, which was started by Tupac. Tupac actually
mm.
said it in an interview that he did on some I forgot who he was being interviewed by, but yeah, he's the one who sparked that. And I never heard it like flipped in that way, so I was like, "Yo, that's dope! Like, I want to flip that way, like that's tight. I'm gonna carry that torch that he sparked." Yeah, so never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. So if you call me
Nice.
that, you know what I mean? If you're gonna call me that, call me like Negus, you know what I mean? Like
Right, right, right.
or call me king or brother. Like don't call me like you know what I mean? Like I don't like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I hate saying it. I hate when other people say it. Like, so I don't say I don't say it in my music. Like I
Right.
don't like so you know. Yeah.
Now, this is the most exciting part I've been waiting for. What is next for you? You tell me, April 12th. That's your birthday.
Woo!
What's happening on April 12th, bro?
Dropping a music video for
Yay.
this project I got coming out real soon called The South Got Something to Say, which was inspired
Right.
by Andre 3000 from the 95 Source Awards. Yeah, dropping this dope video, man. I can't wait for people to hear this. Like, real dope.
I'm excited, man. I can't wait.
Jazzy vibe. Like,
Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so that's April 12th. But I'm just going to, just go out there and just ask because. Hey, stop it. Okay, I have to ask because I've just, oh my God. Is there going to be a dynamic duo? Like, I don't know, continuation? Are you and Ollie Dodge going to be doing something? Please tell me you're going to be working together again. Don't leave us hanging, bro.
Yeah, no, we already in talks about Dynamic Duo 2 and some other things in the works too. We just been dealing with with some life things at the moment, but yeah, like Duo 2 is on the way. Like,
oh my, you heard that, everyone? I think you heard it here first. I think you heard it here first, folks. Dynamic duo on the Reads with Rosa podcast. Yeah. Spread the word, fam. Spread the word.
Yeah, it's on the way for sure. I already got beats. I got beats on my files in my iPhone, so
I can't wait, man. I'm I love Ollie's beats, man. I can't wait to hear what rhymes you pair with those beats. I'm so excited. I have one more question. Napoleon the Legend. I'm a fan. Oh my God. Tell me you are going to be doing something with Napoleon the Legend.
Yeah, we got something. I did a verse for him on one of his joints he got coming out on a future project that he working on. Yeah, so we definitely gonna be working. And we gonna do some more music too, like, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so
you heard it here. Maybe not first, but hey, collab coming with Napoleon the Legend. Oh my God, man. I'm just getting super excited. Yo. I can't wait, man. I love your music.
It's a lot.
Okay.
A lot in the works.
A lot in the works. That's cool, man. So we're about to wrap it up. Final words for the people or for anyone looking to get into music or even just to pursue a dream. What words words of wisdom? Let's end the show on a high. We're already on a high, but what words of wisdom do you have for the young people out there?
To anybody, it ain't even got to be music, but pursue your passion, follow your heart, and remember your why. Remember why you're doing this. Remember what you got into it for. That's it. And stay on your path and keep doing you. That's it. Keep elevating and stay strong. That's it. Like, so I'm leaving with that one.
Mic drop, pin drop. Oh. Well, you heard it. You heard it here. You heard it right here from the man himself, fam. Brian Bars Burns. And if you can't say his name, call him Triple B. And we're out. Pin drop.
Bars only.
Bars only. That's what's up. Thanks, my brother. Appreciate you.
Peace. Thank you.